Quality handmade soaps, where handmade is the best made. Proudly making soap for over 5 years, Quality Handmade Soap sets the standard in both quality and safe ingredients. Perfect for the holiday season. I'm telling you right now, you see that Black Rose soap, I got that in my shower, and man, let me tell you what, your husband or wife will love it. Use promo code VHHN2022 to get 15% off your first purchase. Link is in the description box. Let's go.
A lot of controversy in the world, nothing that's going to bother anybody, but people are talking about Deion Sanders' decision to up and leave Jackson State at HBCU to take a job at Colorado for about $5 million a year. Now, it's definitely a pay upgrade, obviously, in pay. It's more of a major school. It's not an HBCU, but he has a lot of support. But he also has a lot of detractors. People calling him a sellout. People saying, how could he do this? How could he do that? And I don't know if it's split down the middle, but there's obviously a lot of different opinions both ways. I'm sure everybody's been saying that. But I want to start off and get your opinion, man. What do you think about him just up and leaving? Because we had conversations about what he was doing was dope as hell.
Yeah.
And now he's gone. He said, the hell with that, he's gone. He's taking players with him. What's your thoughts?
Deion Sanders is one of the greatest football players to ever live, and we had the pleasure of seeing him with our own eyes. You know what I'm saying? I can honestly say I can remember vaguely him leaving Florida State to go to Atlanta, then go to San Francisco, then go to Dallas, then go to Washington, then go to Ravens, then go to football on NFL Network, and then into coaching. You know what I mean? One of the greatest to ever live, one of my favorites to ever watch. But I always thought, oh God, that Deion Sanders was a little pastorish. If you get my drift. And not the good pastors that's actually out here doing work. The kind of pastors that would, give you a good benediction Sunday afternoon and be busting your wife's ass Sunday evening.
Damn.
Pastor.
Woo.
And then ride off in his Benz kind of pastor. If you get my kind of drift. I've always thought this about prime time. So, no, it does not hurt me that he left Jackson State. And more importantly, it doesn't surprise me one bit, because even though he talked about the culture, and even though he talked about what he was doing, and even though he had a firm understanding of the positive impact he was making on not just Jackson State but HBCUs in general, when you talk about these 5-star recruits coming out of high school and the type of attention that they would get going to HBCUs and what kind of opportunities that would get for these historically black colleges, it was beginning to shift and turn in a very positive direction. It was happening in basketball, started happening in football. These programs and these schools started getting more notoriety. You see the 8th graders and the 9th graders balling going to high school, talking about aspirations to go to Jackson State or Florida A&M or Howard or Hampton. They were really starting to get out there, or Bethune-Cookman or Grambling, whatever the case may be. They were getting excited to get down there and play for these schools. And Deion Sanders doing that single-handedly thrashed that. And I don't care what anybody says. And the proof is in the pudding. How many 5-star recruits are starting to take away their things and starting to go back into Power 5 conversation?
He committing already.
With the quickness. And why not? Because even though he brought this great attention and even though he brought this, the second you leave, it's fucking over.
Yeah.
You're the name. They're there to see Prime. They're there to work with Prime. Their parents want their kids to work with Prime. Not something that Prime built and dipped off. Might as well go to Colorado.
What do you think about people saying, well, he set the precedent now. People are going to want to go to HBCUs because he did it.
I think that's horseshit.
Right.
I think that's garbage. And I think that the next big name that goes out there, we would just firmly expect the first cent of a good season or two. He's going to a high school a college with a big name and big notoriety and better gyms and better facilities and a better bag. Now, I don't know Deion's net worth. I'm not in his pocket. $5 million is a nice amount of money. Does he really need that bag the way me or you would need $5 million? I doubt it.
His wife is his girlfriend. I don't know if you finished.
No, go ahead.
His girlfriend's rich. I looked over his career earnings, and according to this site, he made like $40-something million, which by today's standards, he could probably make, if he was playing now, he probably made that in 2 or 3 years.
Fact.
But he made that over his career. He's not looking for money. But like you said, like, He didn't set no precedent. What he did was use the struggle and get people all hyped up. And the message that he sent, I don't care what he says, because when you got children, you can say shit all day. Or people younger than you, they watching what you do. Mm-hmm. What the message is that talk this blackity black stuff, ride with them for a little while, but when something a little bit bigger comes and better, leave them motherfuckers behind. And that's exactly what Deion did. And that's what I was saying. I don't know if I want to go and call him a sellout, but damn, he's a sellout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because now you got kids saying, look, I ain't going there. In my opinion, I don't think he had to stay there forever. In my opinion, I think that he probably should have stayed there to ride this thing out, maybe 10 years, 5 years. It wasn't supposed to be about you moving up the ladder and going to a white college. It was supposed to be about you setting the precedent, saying the hell with them other colleges. We're going to start building up our colleges. And not only that, we want, y'all to not go to them colleges, come to these colleges. Not just Jackson State, but start going to the other colleges. And now people are saying, shit, if he ain't doing it, why should I do it? When you set the precedent like that, somebody made an example. They said, like, that'd be like Rosa Parks boycotting the bus company, right? And now the bus company offers her a job. Now she driving a damn bus. Like, you're missing the point. The point was supposed to be about you standing firm and setting the precedent. Once you leave, all that shit goes down the drain, in my opinion. Now, people are talking about, oh, it was a good move. That's what they do. He made more money. He don't need that damn money like that. It ain't about the money for him, in my opinion. It's not about the money.
I don't think so either. And he took it from having the ability to set a precedent. Let's say he had a 5 or 6 year plan. Who knows what Prime's thinking was prior to getting into this, right? But let's say he had a 5-year plan. He got a successful recruiting class for 2 to 3 years, set Jackson State up for the future, set other HBCU'S up in the future because they see what Prime's doing, so you get more prominent coaches, maybe a Herm Edwards or maybe a former black NFL coach come slide down there and recruit start, and then something really happened in 5 years. Now you done set the foundation, so if a West Virginia calls or a Florida State, your alma mater, happens to have a coaching vacancy, who would be mad at Prime for going and doing that after setting the foundation for HBCUs? He'd be revered. He'd probably have a statue up at Jackson State. But what he did was, unfortunately, is turn this into a glorified publicity stunt, clown fucking circus act, making it seem like it was something it wasn't. Dipped off on the first, and it's not fair for us to say, right? Because I'm sure Prime got offers last year and all this stuff. But the first offer that was publicly presented with some numbers, he took it and dipped.
And think about it, though. Think about Deion Sanders, watching him over the years. Like, he always made business decisions. Like, he's a businessman before the people.
Still don't know if he was making business decisions on the field.
Yeah. He ain't want to tackle people and shit like that. And I mean, it's cool. He wasn't taking big hits and like he'll run out of bounds. And I get it, but this is totally different. All the shit you saying is like they say in the Bible. It's like a sounding Timbaland on a Timbaland drum, whatever the fuck they say in the Bible. You know what I mean? All the stuff now don't mean nothing. Oh, I'm in Colorado. Nah, man. You sold out, bro. And I know a lot of people are gonna be mad by that, but remember what he said when he came in. He was talking all this big stuff. Oh yeah, we gotta stop doing this and then you run to him. I don't get it, bro. I kind of wanted to. I didn't want to go too hard on him. I was hoping that we didn't, but the truth is the truth. You came into this with a certain purpose and you abandoned ship, and now as a result, other people are saying, "What the fuck should I go there for? I'm not going there. I'm not going to an HBCU. They're underfunded. They're under this. They're under that." The reason they are is because they're not getting those top recruits. You're supposed to be there to get those top recruits, so people will start wanting to pay more money, and they're getting more sponsorships for people now to put the HBCUs up. Fuck it, go to Michigan, go to Penn State, go to Ohio. Why would I go to an HBCU right now if I'm a D1 player? Why?
And could you imagine if he set out a successful recruiting class, got 2 or 3, 4 or 5 players into the NFL. Those players remembered, and they came together and built a state-of-the-art gym here or state-of-the-art gym there. Now they started really having those facilities. It wasn't going to happen overnight. It wasn't going to happen in 2 years. But let's start getting some success out of this situation and really start building. Hell, in 10 years, we may be able to compete with some of those power schools and start getting to situations where, hell, we're talking about getting into the college football playoff and some shit. It's a long way down the road, but it had to start somewhere, and you just kind of cut that shit at the knees. I don't think he's a sellout, simply because I never expected any different from him. Purely for that reason. And that's no diss. greatest football player, top 5 greatest football player to ever live. I looked up to the dude and how he was charismatic on a level. When you do this thing behind a microphone, his charisma, that he was one of the best. You know what I'm saying? But as adults, we see what the fuck it is. We got to call it how we see it. All respect to you. Congratulations to Colorado. But it did absolutely nothing for the Jackson State University, them kids that have to stick around there that you didn't go and take and jump shit with you, and them kids that committed to you and now have to figure out what they're doing with their college career months into getting there and working out and things like that.
Right, because a lot of them kids, they forego probably bigger schools and said, I'm going to be put people. I'm going to go down with Coach Prime. I might have an offer, you know, at one of the prominent colleges or something like that, but I want to go to a HBCU and help build this thing up. The message has been sent. I'm just sad to kind of see it happen now, because now as soon as that happened, kids are saying they ain't going there no more. So obviously that's telling you right there that, you know, it's just kind of productive. But people are going to say what they're going to say. People call it progress. I don't see it as progress at all. I see it as degressing. I mean, I didn't think that this was about coaching for him, moving up the coaching ranks. I don't know. I thought it was more about the kids and setting the precedent for the HBCUs. I didn't think it was about him moving up the coaching ladder.
Yeah, shame on me. I didn't think so either. But
I didn't think that.
We were damn sure wrong on that. You feel me? Because all he wanted to do was be a better coach, I guess. We'll see. Good luck in Colorado.
Hopefully, yeah, because if you talking about they'll fire you, then what? Now, where you going to go now once you get fired?
You got a 2-year plan. They ain't going to give you a lot of time. You prime.
And that's a D1, right? Colorado's D1.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, big time.
And they suck. And that's why you don't hear about them in the D1. They're nowhere near the college football top 25 rankings. They suck.
Right.
Good luck.
Think he turns them around?
I don't want to wish bad on them.
Right.
But you talk about the top 10, 15 schools in the country and the nation. What does Prime got to do in order to be successful? We talking about a holiday bowl game? Or we talking about getting in and threatening for the college football playoff in Colorado? They're going to expect big things. So it depends on the level of success and what they expect out of them. But I personally don't give a fuck. I'm not going to pay nearly as much attention on Deion Sanders as the coach of Colorado as I did
of course.
Deion Sanders, the coach of Jackson State. I'm watching Michigan up there at the top. So
yeah, they up there, man. They number 2 now, right?
Yeah, we in the playoffs against TCU, man. We'll see what happens. Proud of them young bulls, man.
Oh, okay. So y'all can actually end up paying Georgia if y'all go.
Yeah, we got our ass whipped against Georgia last year. But if Georgia beats Ohio State, they go to the final, and then if we beat TCU, we'll be in the final, and then it'll be national championship, Michigan and Georgia. And I don't like our chances. But
it's been a long time coming, man, for Michigan. That's
1998, dope, bro.
Yeah.